Alright, hey everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. Um, yeah, let me know if the audio is good, the connection's good, all that stuff. Um, so, let's see. Alright, so I think I'm gonna, what was I gonna say? I'm gonna go ahead and, okay, so we have most of the pieces here. So the other issues we have too as well is the face normal. So let's go ahead and look at that. Before I do, yesterday we talked about how we have, this is like the subdivided version of the model, and it still has 62,000 triangles, which is a little bit on the higher end, but it's not the end all be all here. As a matter of fact, I'm perfectly fine with that. That being said, we could probably still optimize this a little bit. We would want to ideally want to have polygons in places where it would be more noticeable, and remove them in places where it'd be less noticeable. So like the back is like a good place to remove polygons. On the legs is actually useful too, because like this part of the leg is pretty straight and you're not going to really see much of the curve on it. So because you're not looking at it from like this side really. So like if you look at it from down here, you could see it's pretty bumpy. However, you're not going to really see it that way. So in practice, so it's not really that big of a deal. That being said, we'll want to. So there's two approaches to this as well. Sorry. One, I was thinking we could do a subdivision and then trim where we don't need it, or we can work from the unsubdivided version and add where we need it. So if the unsubdivided version has 37,000 triangles, which is, this 19K is, a pretty, common amount to work with here. Let me see something. I'll reset this. Okay. But there will be things like the face that will need more. And then you can see kind of some bumpy areas around the you can see like around the boots here, at least the fur part. The hands as well. This is also not including the fact that also the hair does add to some of this. And there are also some parts we could hide, like from the sweater. We don't need the sleeves, for example. Think about this for a sec. I don't know if I need to go crazy, really. What I do want to do, though, is I do want to, kind of work on the face normals a bit more here. So let's do that. I'll start with the version that's not low poly. We'll just keep that in the back. We could keep that in case we need it for, you know, anything. We'll probably have to make adjustments to the hair as well. Like, I did dissolve a little bit of it. So like if I did this piece here, and maybe like something like here, yeah, see, that doesn't look bad at all. So I have to repeat that on the other side because this was not mirrored. Not sure exactly which ones I did. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and separate this for a sec. I hit the light too. Oops. And if we do the mirror, yeah, it looks fine. It does make it a bit harder to rig, though, I remember. Okay, sorry, 1 sec. Sorry, 1 sec. I'll get to your question in a moment here. Just thinking. I remember doing this before and having trouble. Let's see. Let's do this. So how many models for the vertical slice of the game? If you're referring to just like the prototype or like the early, you know, minimum viable product, that depends. Because for like the prologue of the game, there are going to be multiple characters, but they don't all need to be made. I think just more like 4 or 5 of them. But there will also be like enemies and NPCs too, so it could be quite a few. So I still have my work cut out for me But I think it will get more into a rhythm as we kind of progress too. I think understanding it a little better each time makes it a little quicker. So that's a hope at least. Okay, so this did. Okay, so one of the challenges here is that you need to fill these. I had to fill that because when you go to rig the hair later, it will have problems if I have the hole there. Hey, good pizza to you as well. Let me add. I actually really don't like this menu. Oh, it's not subdivision, it was mirror. Okay, should be good now. That also means I can dissolve parts that we don't need to see as much. So like this could dissolve, this could dissolve, this can dissolve. Mostly in the inside here. This part's a bit rounder, so we'll probably want to keep that, but I can dissolve that. So how does this look? So this doesn't really affect, it makes the hair blockier in the side, but again, you're not going to really see that. So the hair is now a lot more manageable. Worst case, I can add them back. If I need to. So let's go ahead and remove this for a sec. Add all the stuff back. Okay. And maybe I'll just add one back here. I think I can remove a little bit here too. Maybe like right here. Here. Same with this. And this. Okay, so we did lower it down a bit here by trimming the hair a little bit. That's pretty good. So we still have to do a little bit of work in other areas here too. Let me go ahead and adjust the face normals. Was bro drinking orange soda? It's a orange soda in a Zelda cup. Um, so it's a yeah. Let's do this. Want some? All right. So let's go ahead. Sorry, fixing my hair. Looked like Fanta. Yep, that's it. Or no, this is Sunkissed. Saint. That's orange soda. Okay. Just thinking how we go about this. All right. So unfortunately, one of the issues that you do run into, with the face normals, that you have to apply the mirror first. Actually, you know what? I could do this. I actually kept most of the face here. Okay. Here's what I'll do. Hide the hair for a sec. So for the face normals, basically what we want to do is select just a part of the head. That gets edited here. So something like that. Assign that. Then we're going to also exclude the nose here. So now if I look at a vertex group, it looks like this. Could probably exclude the mouth loop here too. So now we got. We'll keep the eye loop in there because I think we still want the normals to be applicable. So now, go to here, do data transfer, and then I have this object right here, which is just a sphere, basically modified to the head, so we could copy the normals from it. I go to face corner data, custom normals, do face interpolated. They don't make the mouth bag at all. Yeah. How's that work then? Did you just have like some sort of like black void inside the model to deal with that? Depending on your shading, your art style, you get away with it, but I guess it depends. This looks a little bit better. We're gonna do vertex group is the face. If you wanted to test, grab the light here and just spin it on the z-axis. So like, see, like it's passable. The void. Yep. Okay, yeah, so this looks pretty okay. I'm going to add a little bit more to the nose, though. So let's add a couple loops here to the nose. Now if we look at this, it's a little bit more appropriate. So now if I hide this and we go ahead and bring everything back again, so you can see now that, yeah, so now the normals are corrected. I don't know if that's exactly the way I want the nose to look, but it is okay. Yeah, I smooth this out a tiny bit. I can even smooth the normals a little bit too. Then you don't really see the mouth here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to paint the lips on there with the vertices, or not vertex paint, the textures. I'll expand this a couple here. Oops. One sec. See what the mouth looks like. Okay, that might be a little too much. Let's go ahead and I gotta go back here. There we go. Yeah, so you don't see very much here. Notice too that the mouth might need a little bit more geometry too. So what the? Why does it look scary? Oh, with the smile. Yeah. Not sure. Add this loop here now. It just loops everything. Yeah, it's not good. I'm surprised it does, though. Okay. I think when we probably paint it, it'll look a little bit better. Could probably make our mouth smaller too, perhaps. It does seem kind of large, actually. Yeah, Uncanny Valley. Yeah. mouth a tiny bit smaller. Oops. Yeah, another thing too is that it probably wanted the face normals to be more that way too, but however, model is currently at 30,000 vertices, about 60,000 triangles. Typically, a triangle count is double your vertex count. Okay. The face is one area that I've had a lot of trouble with trying to get the look right. Because it's not like I want exactly like an anime face per se, but it's still mostly an anime face. If you look at a lot of like anime style characters, especially the female ones, they actually model their face off of cats and not humans. So their noses are like basically tiny little dots. But I wanted her to have a bit more of a nose. So it's a little bit strange, but it's kind of how work on it. Plus with the toon shading does cause a little bit of an interesting dynamic there too. Yeah, the smile does make it look a little creepy, doesn't it? How about I remove that extra line then? I'll just clear the seam here. Oops. For now. So it still does look a little bit creepy, but I can I'm trying to think here. I'll remove. Yeah, I removed even more of the black from the smile, so it's a little bit hard to tell exactly what's going on there. Another thing I'm going to do here, close this a bit more. If I can get this upper I'm going to select basically all of the top here. Push it down a little bit. So now like you don't see the mouth at all, but yeah, try to add some white dots on the eye, like a full white circle, a little bit in front. Okay, so like the eye shines. Yeah, I've tried eye shines in the past, and they actually kind of looked worse. Also, I think it's kind of interesting the character doesn't have them. Could be like a character feature. So also, let's take a look at it with the outline. Okay. Bear with this here. So with the outline, so yeah, for the outline portion, you have to use the solidify. Let's see. I have to remove the insides of the eyes as well as the as well as the inside of the mouth. Yeah, one of the challenges you do run into here, is you gotta make this a very low weight. What also happens is you get this little crease here. So making the outline on the mouth is a pain in the butt. I go to weight paint mode. The outline, I can actually smooth the weights quite a bit. It'll help. There's still some artifacts kind of come from this here, probably where the mouth closed. And what I can do is close the mouth a little bit. And it does help a little bit. Still don't see the mouth very much. Just kind of adjust this here a little bit. And then you end up with a little bit of something like this. Okay. So the one thing I kind of also found too, like with the outline, it looks better without it than with it. The outline kind of makes the face look a lot rounder too. Might have to just make some adjustments to the face. Might have to potentially redo it if we have to. see. So yeah, the eyelashes I might have to redo too, but I want to think about the shape of the eyes as well. Yeah. Extrude the lips forward or add darker color. So you mean like to make it a little bit further out like this. Not exactly like this, but you know what I mean. Not quite. Yeah, I'll have to look at some examples probably. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Give me a second. A while ago I made this drawing. But even this looks a little creepy too. I'm gonna try to get a little bit something, at least with the eye shape too. I can make the eye slightly rounder. Less round at the top, a little rounder at the bottom maybe. The lips might have to be painted on as well. I think as far as that goes, let's see. The eyelashes, because they're no longer joined to the model. Think about this. I made it just to illustrate. I made it a little bit. Yeah, paint a straight line across the lips. Yeah. And then if I did so that actually makes her eyes a bit wider. Actually looks creepier. Back to the way they were. Okay. Yeah, so the face part's a struggle. Think about where I want to go with this, because I do want to fix the face. Some of the other stuff is coming along pretty well. the face is troubling. Yeah, because I want to try to find an example of a character's face. I want to kind of get more. So I do have this random one on Pinterest. So yeah, it's because I want her to kind of look a bit more like an adult, but not like those like somewhere in between, like a teen and an adult, but not like too much in one way or the other. Um, so I don't want her to have like ginormous eyes or anything like that. I want her to be a little bit more grounded look. Something like this, I think, is a pretty good middle ground where it's like the eyes are still big, but it's a bit more. What do I say? Like it's a bit more. I think a little bit more older looking too. So I don't know, somewhere around to here, but trying to replicate that in 3D is tough. The eyes were a bit narrower, and then the mouth too. So let me look at like some 3D examples too. Hey, hello, welcome. Hey, thank you. Yeah, it's cool to see some new faces. Just been working on some 3D stuff. I have a character I made for my game, but there were a number of things I wanted to try to improve on it. Um, we're looking at the face right now. It's kind of boggling me a little bit. We're also trying to do some poly count reduction stuff, so it's still a work in progress. Let me find. Yeah. Yeah, I hate to show like AI images here, but like the face proportions are pretty okay on this. As an example, I want her to have a more profound nose though, but I like the lips. Even the size of the eyes are pretty good. Something like that, maybe. Let me just let's go ahead. Like this character looks a bit younger, but I do kind of like the general idea as well as like the more pronounced nose. Trying to get the look. Also, this looks a little bit more Western style, like kind of like Pixar type. Not quite, but I think you might understand what I mean. This character was modeled from scratch. Yeah, AI is everywhere on Pinterest. I've seen that as well too. It's just I wish people would use it, you know, more ethically, but it's kind of hard to enforce that. It's like I think AI should be used as a tool to help you with your art, but not to generate the art for you. Like it's fine if you want to generate ideas or something like that, or if it speeds up your workflow, but I think it's important to still kind of preserve the integrity of the artist and the work they do. Um, yeah, 2D works with perspective and 3D works with volume and space. Yeah, translating between the two sometimes gets difficult, especially if you're doing something stylized. Um, because like on the one hand, stylization could be easier because there's less details to worry about, but it can also be more difficult too because trying to translate the ideas between 2D and 3D becomes more of a challenge than you may realize. Um, yeah, I'll show the wireframe. Still trying to figure out the face, but this is this was after one layer of subdivision, so it's a little bit denser areas here, but basically what you can yeah notice, yeah, the joints have like these little parts here, you know, more around the rounder areas. um, the face also has loops around the eye and the nose and the mouth, um, if you want to see it, I have a lower poly version without the subdivision. It's a little bit easier to tell what's going on. Um, the idea here was that I wanted to um, make sure we had the important loops accounted for, like the eye. There's one around the nose and one around the mouth. Parts that are basically forms that will deform. So like any of the joints need to have a little bit more. Then the hand is, so the hand does break the quads rule. I do have some triangles on here, but for a game model I'm not really too concerned about triangles. Triangles just make it harder to model, like to add edge loops, because like you can't really do that. But I think it's a little overrated to say like you can't use triangles at all. I think knowing where to use them is better than kind of just saying don't use them. Have you considered using regular eyes as opposed to whole approach? Yeah, the idea of the whole approach was really just to save polygons. Because having like a little disc like this is actually a bit cheaper. Also with the toon styling, you know, there's really not going to be like too much shadow in the back of the eye anyway, so you don't really need to have whole eyeball. It does make it a little bit awkward, but I do think it works perfectly fine. I'm just going to keep it this way. Okay, let me try to look for... Okay. I was going to say, proportion-wise, I do like this example. Actually, I'll just open... So, like, this is clearly a stylized character, but there's also, like, a little hint of realism as well. Like I kind of like that, and I think proportionally that's kind of what I want to go with. So maybe I just redo the head altogether. Crap, I gotta bring that back. So like the shape of her head's also a little bit round, but maybe if we did something closer to this. But I also think it's important to think about like the design of her eyes as well, because especially in like anime type art styles, the character's eyes are extremely important. You can learn a lot about the character just by looking at their eyes. I also really appreciate it when anime or like other things have like different styles of eyes for different characters, because it's pretty neat. Because it's like, oh, this character's got like these narrow eyes. He must be like kind of like a badass, or like they don't mess around. Or like you have a character with wide open eyes, you know they're probably like young and innocent. Or you have like maybe like a little bit narrower, smaller, they're more mature. You could kind of, and then the color is something you can look into as well. Sorry, just had to finish my drink. So for Kyla here, her eyes are currently red. I'm thinking of making them brown. Part of it is just because like her mother and father are also characters in the game, and there's going to be some aspect of that hereditary thing. The brown eyes are also a bit more universal. I also don't particularly want red to be a dominant color on her. I like that this kind of a blend of a little bit of everything. And having red kind of favored in the eyes is not as necessary when she also has it as well in her drapery type stuff here. So we can do that right now. We can actually so I'm just going to take these eyes here. And then, actually no, I'm in the wrong place. Here, give me a sec. My Shiranui. Oh, is she the King of Fighters character? Yeah. I'll just say that I appreciate her. That's it. We'll just go from there. Let's see. I'm gonna go pick like a brownish color. And if I use the color, I can go and change the color of her eyes. Okay, so now they're brown eyes. I could make them slightly darker. Let's see. It's pretty good, actually. Let's do multiply. We'll just multiply it by a darker color. No, no blue. I want. Alright. There we go. Okay, it might be a little too dark. Okay, and this is paint, so let's do like. Oops. Paint. Oh yeah, Blender changed this brush system. It's throwing me off. Okay, why is that happening? way too dark. Let's go back. Just the fill threshold. Okay. Okay. Multiply. Let's see. It's a little better. Okay. So now our eyes are brown. Let's save that. I don't think that looks too bad. It looks pretty alright. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt for a while, but it'll be better in a couple of versions of Blender when I'm used to it. But like they did the same thing with the sculpting tools, and I hate it. But I do think it's one of those things where it's like you're just gonna have the growing pains with it for a while. It's like it is what it is. All right, so coming back here. Hold on a sec. So I wanted to look at this here. If you look, put a little opacity on it. A little more. I just kind of move it. So you can see, like, of course they're different proportionally because this is like more designed to be a bit more realistic. So the eyes are a bit higher up. Actually, all the facial features are a little bit higher up. There's a bit more neck. If we kind of look, but if I made something a little closer to this, I just don't know how this would respond to like toon shading or anything like that. But I do generally like this type of style. Could try to do something along those lines. Let me move this here. We can make it show kind of like here on the side. Save this for a sec. I'll turn off the toon shader here for a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna mess with the head a little bit. Let's just hide everything. Hide this too. I'm gonna apply everything. Yeah. Shouldn't use stylized references when you're working on an anime character. Illumination, texture, shaders, they're completely different. Yeah. It's a little tough. I was also kind of in part curious to see like what something like this would look like with a toon shader on it. It probably would look not great. Um, but I do generally like this type of style. I think it's but I might be able to use it as a kind of a base for the design of the head. I'm just gonna play around with this a little bit. Let's see. Um, but that is one of the issues that I have been seeing personally is when you work on a design like also just like with reference finding in general is like trying to work outside of the medium that you're working in, things don't translate quite as well. So it's like trying to make it work without it being with it, I guess just trying to make it work. Let's see. There's a grab tool. Okay. So just for reference, because this is like stylized, but a bit more. Because yeah, if I like put this in position like where the facial features are, it then you can see like the neck's a lot longer and stuff too. Yeah, so like so what I'm gonna try to do then is we just mess around with this a little bit. The mirror on a mirror is already on. Okay. If I did oops. Play around more with the shape. Oops. Here's a little bit too. Look at the shape of the eye as well. I don't care as much about changing the exact shape of the eye. I'm just kind of playing around with this. So what does it look like without? Gotta fix the ear's messed up too. But change the Okay, another thing, of course, is trying to sculpt like an actual nose and stuff too. The neck's a little big, might be. Yeah, I can fix that. Alright, okay, now I gotta try to actually like sculpt the nose and stuff. I'm gonna probably botch this. But let's see, can I get... it's not... Let's do this. Here's what I'll do. What I'll do is I'll just take I'll try to shape the nose. Yeah, if I have to do the retopology again, I don't care. It'll be pretty fast. There's just this here too. Trying to get like a base form here I can work with here. Maybe something like this. I could just pull this out. You can see it. I'm going to update this so I get a little bit easier to see. It's kind of hard to tell. You might just have to look at the reference in a different place. Yeah, it looks like it was asked in the stream about favorite action films. You know, I'm not a big movie watcher. I can't really even think of anything that comes to mind. If I like any type of movie, I like animated films. I was gonna say, yeah, I actually really just have a hard time coming up with anything on the fly as far as like action films. Because I'd say if I watched anything, it would be like comedy or animated. So it's hard to say. Okay, now let's look at the nose here. Okay, what? We'll have to do the mouth too, the lips. As if an animated film couldn't be an action film. True. Um, as far as favorite animated films, I mean, there's always a classic like Toy Story I do enjoy, but Kung Fu Panda is another one I really like. Which I guess is kind of an action film in some ways. Um, really good movie. I've been meaning to go and catch up on Pixar films. It's been so long since I watched Pixar films. Like, I think the last one I've seen was Finding Dory. That was like a while ago. Um, yeah. Okay, this is. You know what? I'm going to do something here. I'll explain it when you see it in a moment, but let's see. Okay, give me a sec. Okay. Then I can. So I'm thinking of basically what I'm going to do is just try to like use this reference and just kind of get the important guidelines on it and then use that in Blender instead of trying. It's just going to be easier to visualize it. Um, let me. So like if I did some, let's see, maybe if I lower this. I did I mean I suppose I could, but that's fine. Okay, I did um T. I guess I'm just used to doing it this way. Um, okay. Oops. And then I can just re-mirror it. It's fine. Just delete that. Yeah, horizontal, please. There we go. Yeah, And then for the nose, I'm gonna say something along these lines here. And then the lips. The top of the lips aren't really too fancy here. And then if I did like, then here's the ear. Not too worried about that either. Actually, it looks like I need to move the neck a little bit down. Oops. I know it's... I'm sorry for tracing this. It's a little bit. It's just easier to get the exact. Okay, this is actually still kind of here. Whoa, my color is different. There we go. Like that. I can remove. Okay. Then if I wanted to get, I don't care as much about the eyes, but I'll do that as well. And the eyebrows too, I guess. They had. Okay. Yeah, I just kind of want more like the head shape, the nose shape, and the lips to work with here than anything. So I'm gonna do that. And then actually, you know what? We can kind of do something like this, so you can kind of see. It's more like rounded. There we go. And we're gonna kind of mess around with this. Well, it does feel like the head looks a little bit. Strangely enough, it looks like the head's a little wider here than it is here. You know what? I'll do something here. I'm gonna I think the head actually needs to be a little bit wider. Correct this. spend too long on it. Just want to. Here we go. Guess I could have done the neck too. I didn't even think of that. Let's get that in there. Okay. Oops. Okay. And then let's just save as. I'm just going to put it in the temp folder. Did you know that Blender supports WebP images? I like using that because it's the file size is smaller. Let's see. Now if I go I don't see anything. Okay. Okay, I gotta change how this is done. Give me a sec. Alright. Gave me a trouble when I exported it. Let's see. Let me try it again. Where are we? Save. I'll just save it as a PNG. Should work now. There we go. It's in front. There we go. Something along those lines, maybe. Don't have to really copy it exactly, but I do want to have something to work with here. This will be good. Okay, cool. Now I can go take a look. So one thing I did notice is that if I did kind of change the shape of the head. The ears are kind of whatever, but I can alt those two. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. And if I actually wanted to change the way the eyes are shaped too, I can do that. Let's get it similar. Move the mouth up a little bit too. To do, actually you can see a little bit over here, it's a little bit not the same. So that's kind of how the okay, I wanted to look at so if I like here, let's do okay, so I'm gonna do something here is yeah, you can see that the jaws also changed, but if we let's see, might have to okay, what I wanted to do actually was just make this manifold for a second so I can remesh it in the sculptor. Okay, maybe it's a little bit more resolution than that. Uh-oh, that might be too little. Might be crashing Blender here.